Hi everyone, I welcome you all to our tech podcast series. I am Chavi, your podcaster of the day, and today we have a very amazing stuff to discuss upon. So we have digital marketing and a lot of stuff to discuss. Now the question here comes that who is our special guest today? So we have Amandeep Kaur with us. She is the founder of Phoenix TalentX branding, and when it comes to the women entrepreneurship, to be honest, I love the most. So let's hear about her journey and more about her from Amandeep only. So, hi Amandeep, how are you doing?
Very well. It's so glad to speak with youngsters like you. You some sort of start feeling young again because you can feel the vibe and you can see the excitement and the enthusiasm to change the world. And you want to do something new with your careers. And there's so many fields that you all can explore. So I'm very happy to be on this chat.
Amazing, glad to hear. So, before starting, the one thing that I love to hear the most is how you started your journey and how was your experience with this women entrepreneurship. It's been more than 5 years with Phoenix, and you are doing some amazing, mind blowing work, obviously. So, how is it going in the current phase?
It's very exciting. My journey has been very staggered. I've not had a very conventional career, right? So, right after I did my MBA, I got married, had a baby. So, my life completely changed, became a mother before I could become a manager. And then in 2006, I went back and I got back into a job. And fortunately for me, even though I was an HR, MBA in HR, marketing came naturally to me. And when I picked up my job with Ernst Young after my daughter was born, I was naturally given something like campus branding to work on, and I was very excited. And I discovered a field of employer branding, right? So I have been doing employer branding since the year 2006, and that's it been like it was a very niche field at that time. Now it's more prominent. Everyone knows about it. Everyone talks about it because India is like a talent hub for the world for technology talent. Everyone wants to come to India and set up their offices here. So now employer branding is very, very in demand, and people want to, there are a lot of people who are playing these roles in almost all organizations that are existing in our country. And so over the years, like I said, I started my career in 2006. After that, I worked with Publicis Sapient, Apollo Medical Health Insurance, and in 2017, I figured that I was my application or my potential was better used if I was able to help more companies in the space of employer branding, and that's how my company Phoenix TalentX branding took shape. And everything about this word, even though it's very long, is like a tongue twister, Phoenix TalentX branding, but everything is exactly what I want the world outside to know about my organization. So Phoenix is a journey of transformation. Phoenix is a journey of rising. And any brand, any client who comes up to us, we try and transform the employer brand story, right? So that's why Phoenix is very core to who we are as a business. And then TalentX is our model. Like over the years, I've had about 20 years of experience in the space of employer branding. So X is a model that I use to craft any company's employer brand story. X is really a multiplier of your business brand. So what is the purpose of your business? For example, you are you're like doing something in the space to develop a community. You want to really uplift people. You want to get them to work on open source. So that's the purpose of your brand, right? Upskilling, learning, and exposing people to latest in the space of cloud computing or other career avenues, or augmented reality for that matter. Now that's the purpose. If I marry it, to what you offer as an employer, I can see that young vibe, the young millennial person running a podcast, which was very unusual. When we started our careers, senior people were supposed to be the face of the brand, and now you youngsters are, right? So that's really the employment opportunity of this particular brand, that it trusts young talent, it trusts youngsters, right? So that's your value proposition as an employer. At the same time, what happens to Chavi when she joins a company like this one tech podcast, your brand, vis-a-vis if you're working for Amazon or say any other company, right? Now whatever the small company is doing for you or new company is doing for you, that's your edge as an employee in the organization. So you marry these three stories together, and then we create your employer value proposition, and that's really the X. So talent X branding, and branding naturally is about positioning your brand in the market, making sure the right talent that you want to go after, your brand is promoted there, you're visible there, your brand awareness is built, and slowly we get you to brand equity, which is like an employer of choice space in the minds of talent. uh, So with this intention and with this entire learning that I had in the space of employer branding, I've over the years, in the last 5 years, worked with brands like Credit Suisse, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Elsevier, Altimetric, Commonwealth Bank Australia, Amazon, and a lot of these like Modern Data Career, Innovasa, all of these startups. So it's been a very interesting journey as an entrepreneur. I think the biggest learning and the biggest thing that I figured and discovered about myself was that resilience is very core to an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneurship will challenge you in every possible way. Right, your company will rise one day, you'll get tanked one day because there'll be corona, and then there's so much market fluctuation that's happening. One day there's a hiring frenzy, another day there are layoffs. So managing different companies' employer brand through this tidal waves is what really is very exciting. And then you get to work on very different domains. Right, morning I'm talking to a financial fintech company, in the evening there's a data startup that I'm helping, tomorrow there's a call scheduled with a health tech startup. So your learning, your exposure, your knowledge of domains, your own perspective is not global. It's truly holistic. You really really challenge yourself in every possible way, and that's what the kick. That's the kick you get out of being an entrepreneur, which a job cannot provide, because in a job you're boxed. You're just working for one domain. There's one particular problem in employer brand that you will get to solve, that because that will be very peculiar to the company who you're working for. But when you work like an entrepreneur, then the variety of employer branding problems you're solving, from the space of attracting talent, from the space of engaging talent, from the space of retaining talent, right, and also turning around brands that are hurting on Glassdoor. So there are different brands who go to brand trauma, all of that exciting work you get to do. One day a client will come and say, we have a Slack channel, how can you help us make it more engaging for our employees? Now those are interesting problem statements to solve, right? So if you want to be, if you really like variety, if you like exposure, if you like your learning curve to be very steep, if you want to meet and speak with the CEOs and the founders directly, and you want to really build your executive presence, I think entrepreneurship is really key to your growth as a professional.
That was really great to hear. And to be honest, I love the way you explained the name of the company. This was very amazing. And
Thank you.
moving with that, as you mentioned about the youngsters and the digital marketing, and like you only help in that case, can you please explain like how youngsters use this digital marketing platform for their upliftment? Because ultimately, not everyone wants to be an influencer, but still deep down we know that digital marketing is very much helpful for people like no matter in which domain you are, digital marketing will be helping you. So can you
Yes.
please explain it, how you make people understand that, and especially the employees who are in those cubicles sitting there? So wanted to know about that.
Sure. So the first thing before you even understand digital marketing is you have to understand that the world is now digital, right? Digital first strategies is what any company is going after and building their entire business around that digital first aspect of your organization. So if everything is digital, now that we're talking on a StreamYard, that's digital, right? If I pick up a phone and I want to just call someone, that entire smartphone is digital. If I went enter into social media, all that space is digital. If I want to write something on a blog, that's digital, right? So now if everything is digital, then what is marketing all about? Digital, right? So it's whether you are a conventional marketer or what, you will have to think about digital first as your like way of working, right? So even if you look at my own website, the tag that I had to add at that time, because I started 5 years back and that time digital was not very prominent. I'd said that we are a digital employer branding agency, because I wanted to experiment with things like augmented reality. I wanted to work on platforms which are experiential reality platforms. I wanted to use artificial intelligence, virtual reality platforms, all of those for in the space of employer branding, because that was a space that was not developed. No one was using these technologies and these interesting things. So digital, first thing anyone has to understand is digital is the way to go. Whether you are a developer, whether you are a marketer, whether you are a analyst or a research analyst, digital is your area, because you will operate only on the digital space. That's one. Once you understand that everything is digital, and then what you need to do is you have to look at your own skills as a marketer. right? The same thing a marketer would do on a physical space, like when you get into a store or you go to a mall in a place like Cyber Up and you see a ton of billboards. Now that's a traditional way of marketing, right? But when I cross a billboard and in that billboard there's a pop-up that gives me like a like a geo target on my phone, that aspect is all digital marketing, right? And then when I take it to how many people clicked on the link, how many people saw my ad, and was the digital, so you judge the performance of that billboard basis the interactions you get on your website, which is a digital interface, right? So digital marketing is not just like learning how to do social media and how to create a funnel and how to use a digital budget, but it's really really broader, wherein you look at any ways a person is reaching not a person, a customer or talent is reaching any of your digital channels, and how are they engaging with your brand, and are you able to convert them into a paid customer, right? So that's the big thing that I wanted to really put on the table, that don't look at digital marketing as just going through a digital marketing course and learning YouTube analytics and learning Google analytics and just running some ads on Google. That's not digital marketing according to me. For me, digital marketing is really, like I said, from anywhere a customer walks into your digital channels, whether it's through a physical interface like your store or a billboard or like a car ad or a metro ad, wherever your brand is situated, and that allows or enables persons to reach your customers, to reach your digital channels, you should be able to give them an omni-channel experience as a digital marketer. That's the first thing that I would like to put on the table. And then obviously, because it's not like something which can be easily learned or grasped. You have to go through a proper course, you have to learn and engage with courses like Coursera, Simply Learn, Digital Vidya. There's so many of these unacademy type of platforms, upskilling platforms that help you learn digital marketing. It's like a proper, like a skill based program. So you have to go through modules to understand what are the digital layers, and YouTube analytics will work differently from Google analytics, or Adobe analytics will work differently from a video analytics. So you have to understand the entire science behind digital marketing. Once you understand the science behind how digital marketing and how the tool has to happen, then you have to also understand the science or art of a marketer, right? So what kind of words you will use to excite, what word will you write, what copy lines will you write that will get a person to click on that link. Now that's the angle of marketers. You have to also understand and learn that aspect. Once you combine all this, then the biggest thing that you have to do is understand the business of your company, like the business of the client that you're helping, right? Which space are they in? Are they in the space of finance? How does the finance customer behave different from a health customer or a fitness or a wellness customer, right? Because every customer has a different requirements. You understand their psychology, then you create ads that appeal to that target customer, and then you get then you push some sponsored ad, you do a mix of inorganic and organic ads, and then you get that, create that funnel, you create that awareness on digital channels. You have to learn remarketing, you have to learn retargeting, or you have to also learn programmatic advertising, right? So all of these things, when you learn, that's when you really become a good digital marketer.
That was really very much insightful. And now, like as you mentioned about the digital marketing and how amazing it is, now wanted to understand one thing with you, that when it comes to career, right? So, like for example, I'm in the middle of my corporate life. Let's suppose I'm 26, 27. Okay, now I'm a developer. I am having everything going very right. So in that case, how digital marketing can help me in my upliftment, because I'm having a very comfortable life now. In
I
that
mean,
comfortable, if
go
I
on.
like, yeah, if I want to just shift my domain, or I want to explore more, I want to grow more, right? In that case, how digital marketing can revolve around this whole path?
Okay. So you have to understand, if you are an engineer, you already know how to work with the tools, right? And digital I mean, if you naturally have a bent of mind to market and to sell something, because everyone, we don't come, so that idea of a traditional job is done and dusted, right? Where someone had to pick up one domain and they had to stick with it for the rest of their lives. Now that is all breaking and changing, right? One person can play multiple hats and they can play various roles. So that is why you see a lot of recruiters who are now influencers on Instagram, right? Or a lot of developers who are now influencers on social media, either as travelers or as food bloggers. They're doing a lot more. because they're using all their skills. So even as a developer, you're already an engineer, you know how the science and everything works. And if you also have this added, if you add this learning of digital marketing to your kitty, then you can use your engineering skills to understand and learn the techniques of digital marketing faster, right? And if you can learn that, then naturally as a developer, you've added another hat to your skill base and to your career, which is of a digital marketing backed by a engineering mindset. So if you see a lot of these startup founders, yeah, are people who are engineers, but they've picked up these interesting courses or careers and domains on the side, which have enabled them to solve for particular industries, right? So if you look at Zomato, if you look at Swiggy, if you look at Urban Clap, all of these engineers, but they just picked up one particular domain, and they use their digital skills along with their engineering skills to understand that particular space and solve for it through technology. So digital marketing has can really add a lot of value to your career, to your own growth. And but that really depends on if you really are like a marketer at heart, you know how to sell, right? So if you can sell a comb to a bald person, then you really have it in you. And then I would recommend that even if you're an engineer or just busy on your developer thing, I would say come, explore this area and use it to expand your skill base, use it to expand your professional lineage.
That was very amazing to hear that. And as you mentioned about the digital marketing, so how, yeah, I agree on the youngsters part and the influencers part as well. But if we talk about the people who are elder, who are somehow in their 30s 40s, are they also getting the whole benefit of digital marketing, or they are still not getting the whole?
So see, you have to understand all of these old people are also active in some spaces, right? So the entire Facebook channel is
Yeah,
largely now boomers, and our
exactly.
parents and our grandparents, or the older generation, 40 plus, is largely resting on Facebook. And there's a younger version that's going on Instagram, right?
Mm.
Really understand which segment of your target population, of your consumer, is active where, and then you go and create strategies or digital strategies to tap them. For example, if I'm like a Ayurveda center, right, who's trying to promote health and wellness, I'd rather put my ads on places like Facebook, where people who are 40 plus, who are largely going through a lot of health challenges, would need my services, and they would also be more prone to click that ad, because they can relate with all the health issues that the particular Ayurveda center is trying to solve and address for them, which could be BP, cholesterol, diabetes, and etc. Right? But if I were to take this Ayurvedic center ad on an Instagram and show it to a person like Chavi, she'll be like, "What? Yeah, I would not. You not never even click on it because you can't relate to that, right?"
Demand.
If I was like a cosmetic surgeon, right? And I can help correct your face features, then I'd rather be on a channel like Instagram where the young people like you are there. And if I tell you, you can have a different nose or a different lip line or a different eye and a cheekbone, I am sure you'll definitely click on that and you'll want to at least know more. If you buy it later, that's different because it depends on the price and everything. But that's what I'm trying to say, that every person is active somewhere or the other. And for you to find as a marketer, that's your biggest advantage, right? For example, if I have to engage with data scientists, I'd be stupid to go and engage them on LinkedIn. They're very active on YouTube. So as a marketer, I need to know where my target talent is most active. If I'm going after fintech talent, right, finance technologists, they are very active on Twitter. So if I go and look for them on Facebook, I'm wasting my company's money or digital budget, right? So as a marketer, that's the advantage you bring on the table, that you know the target customer for my brand is more active on a channel like X, and therefore I will put an X amount of money or all my marketing budget on this particular channel so that my company gets an ROI on the investment they make in the space of digital. That's how you have to do it.
Okay, got it. That was really great, and also this is something that I also wanted to know on a personal level. Okay, now I want to conclude this podcast with one amazing question: that what advice you want to give to the youngsters when it comes to digital marketing and their career?
I would say keep upscaling. Digital marketing as a space is evolving rapidly. So what you know today will not be applicable tomorrow, right? So always be very akin to the digital trends in the market. Keep reading about social media trends. A lot of companies like SEMrush, and then there a lot more that keep publishing a lot of digital trends report. So be on top of the trends, and then also keep upskilling in the space of digital marketing. Like for example, today you will be very good at on YouTube analytics, but tomorrow video analytics or AI analytics will become a lot more prevalent. So you have to understand everything. And the last thing I like to share is, when you begin your career in this space, wherever you work, bring a lot of understand what are the challenges that the brand is facing overall from their consumer or from their customers, as also their employees, right? So as a marketer, how can you help your company or your client in each of these areas? That I think will be very will do a lot of good to you, because then you will come across as a valuable team player, and then like someone who can really help the brand shine through their digital marketing skills. So those are things that I'd like for all of you to take from this conversation, that keep upskilling, be aware of the trends, see how the market is moving, be aware of your customers, see how their behavior and consumer behavior is changing, and therefore how what changes you need to make in your digital documentary or in your digital story. And fifth, like I said, understand your company's business, understand the challenges, and try and solve those challenges, whether it's a consumer challenge or a market challenge or a business strategy challenge or a employee engagement challenge, through your digital marketing skills.
Thank you so much, Amandeep, for such an insightful podcast. And also, I'm pretty much sure the listeners are going to love it. And I have also dropped Amandeep's socials in the description. You guys can check out. You can reach out to her if there is any sort of doubt and help that you want. And with that note, thank you so much, Amandeep, for joining in. It was
Thank you
really,
so
really
much,
great.
Shami, for
And
the opportunity. It was great chatting with young people like you, because I'm sure the people who will listen to this podcast are also people like you and have similar questions. So I'm glad I could be of use and I could add value to your knowledge and information.
thank you so much.
Have a good day.